Hey there, campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised.
Hey campers, my name is Kimmy and I'm here with my co-host Ryan.
Welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast where we tell you the stories and sightings of different folklore from around the world.
Woo! And we like to start off our episode around this little campfire asking the other one what they found Aloreing. So Ryan, what'd you find Aloreing this week?
So this isn't actually my Aloreing thing, but I forgot to open our episode layout thing, and I didn't just completely freeze during our intro. So it only took a whole year.
Wow. No, I was like, I wonder why he didn't say history.
Yeah, it's
in it.
Because I was like, I can't freeze. We're live. Anyway, hello everyone. Yeah, my alluring thing is, for some people this may not be alluring, but for me, I love it, and it's in the hundreds now, which means pool is available 24/7. It could be middle of the night. The pool is still like 80 degrees, and it's beautiful. I love sitting in the pool.
Do you have a pool at the place you're at, or are you talking about your parents?
I don't, but my parents do, and okay. I can just walk in.
I only remember fun fact, Ryan and I have been friends for a minute. I only remember the pool from that pirate night.
Yeah, that's the pool.
Like the point.
Yeah. That's the pool I go to. That pool's been through a lot.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trooper.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is it like
nice.
It's been really weird weather where I'm at. I feel like it's always like that.
Yeah.
Where it felt like we just completely skipped spring.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It was like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, like it randomly dropped down to like 60s and I was like wearing a sweater, and now it's 100 and what is it today? Oh, it's only 97 right now, so it's a bit of a cold one out there.
It's a little bit chilly. Gotta get my cardigan.
Not to call out anyone who I work with. Somebody at work keeps turning the heater on.
Excuse me?
Yeah, like someone on our night team, which I mean, I respect that some people get colder than others, but right. It is June. We're in the desert. You don't need the heater. I got into work. I was like, why is it so hot here? I was like, it's hotter in here than it is outside right now. And I go check the thermostat, and they had it set to like 90 with the heater.
Out.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Do you think the electric company got that bill and they had a double take because they weren't quite sure?
Like, is someone running gas right now? Like,
but listen. This is what you do for that person. You get them a heater,
clearly,
as like a gift.
Yeah,
and you be like, "No, Pudgy, the thermostat."
We have like a company Slack, and I like posted. I was like, I respect anybody who like is colder than like other people, but it is June. Like, yeah. But anyway.
You're so much nicer and more professional than me. I'd be like, listen, I'm sweating like a whore in church. You guys need to get it together.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is 95 outside, and the thermostat is set to 90 in here, where like it was a sauna. Anyway, what did you find alluring this week, Kimmy?
That I don't work in a sauna.
Yeah, that it's not 100 degrees.
I went to my first Pride Festival down in Salt Lake, and that was absolutely magical.
Yeah, that's fun.
It was so cute. I actually had just like the most lovely time. Edgar and I just like biked to it, and we spent the day there, and I was like, oh, this is just so fun.
Nice.
It just like, it felt like sunshine.
Yeah.
And that's like something I really love about like, if people haven't figured it out about like Salt Lake and stuff, is it's just like the culture here, it just feels like sunshine, and it makes my heart really happy. Because Utah County is this really weird Barbie Ken bubble.
Yeah.
And it feels so fake. And then I was like, I don't know if I'll ever like any part of Utah. And then I'm like, Salt Lake just feels so warm, and it's so cute. Everyone's just like such a gem. And also there was like 3 mermaid drag floats.
Nice.
And I was like, beautiful.
Yeah.
This is art. This is why I came here today. And like,
do they have an actual like parade?
Oh my gosh, it was fucking huge. They had like, we only watched till like 107, like 100 and, so like they had like the groups.
Yeah.
After group like 107, I'm like, I need a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like I've been yelling this whole time, and I haven't even realized I've been yelling.
Yeah, that's cool. It's actually big.
It was huge. It was
That's
huge.
awesome.
It was like all of Salt Lake Main Street. It was just absolutely packed. It was absolutely crazy, but it was so cute, and I loved everything about it. It was so fun. That's all. Anyway, you know, that's not really.
You
know what else is magical?
There we go.
There we go.
Our story this week. Still don't have a soundboard. Cue campfire sounds. All right. I'm gonna get my soundboard fixed. I promise.
No, this is how we do it from now on.
In the mossy undergrowth sits a poor, gaunt hunter, arrow drawn towards the looming beast, stomach murmuring, painting hunger, trembling hands, waiting for the shot. But what is he shooting at, Kimmy?
Oh, well, if you're exploring the thick woodlands of Eastern Europe, you may stumble upon a famous spirit that not even realize it. This spirit can be as small as a blade of grass or as large as the tallest tree in the woods, but you'll only see it if they want you to. This mischievous guardian of the woodlands is extremely popular, and to this very day is one of the most famous spirits you can hear of. So, now time for validation. That means you guys come to our YouTube channel and you see the illustration I've posted, and you tell me you love it.
That's a cute one. I love anything with little mushrooms in it.
Isn't it just charming?
Mm-hmm.
I'll get more into it, but the precursor that's one of his favorite forms to turn into. So
is it a larger mushroom than it appears?
No, it's actually baby mushroom.
Oh, okay.
Turns into a little baby mushroom.
Nice.
So this week, spoilers. Just skip that part. Pretend you didn't hear it. You guys are fine.
Rewind
so this
time.
week we'll be talking about the Leshy, known to be lurking in the heavily forested areas, specifically around various countries in Eastern Europe. This creature was known to be extremely popular during the 19th century and is known to live in a cave or small woodlands with a possible wife and children. So, Leshy has found its roots. Thanks.
I see what you did there. That was.
See how I even wrote it in the notes?
That was a good
Pause for pun.
Oh, you sure did. Look at that.
Thank you. So in Slavic folklore, thank you. This is why we need the soundboard. I need. But Legend of this Forest Guardian have unclear origins that go way further back. For starters, some more suggest that the Leshy is closely related to the Blood, or Blood. Blood is an evil deity from Slavic mythology that tries to harm humans by having them get lost, unable to find a way out of the forest. Leshy also has the abilities to change path or even appear as a guide, only to disappear. So this results in the same type of confusion as the deity Blood and is the possible origins for the lore of the Leshy. Since Slavs lived in heavily forested areas, many of them believed in this mysterious forest spirit. Legends of the creature even spread to the Ukrainians living in the steep countryside. Plus, the lore of the Leshy help explain why people never came home and how they became lost in the forest. The idea was there's this forest spirit that took away the children and wives of local villagers to live with them, was a much easier pill to swallow than the thought of them being gone forever or even eaten by bears. So,
Fair.
There's not a lot of backstory for the Leshy. So, we'll go to this next picture, and I'm going to go straight into the word meaning. Because this picture, I was doing my show notes late at night, and I saw this picture, and I screamed. So, it just spooked me a little bit. It's just like, it's fine in the daylight, but when you're on your computer at night, you can get a little bit spooked about it. So, looking at the name Leshy, it's a simple breakdown. So, Leshy means forest lord from les, the Slavic for forest. And Leshy has many different varieties of names, and a very, very similar but different enough to add some spice. So, here are a few of them. I forgot to put pronunciation for all of these.
Oh, that's fine. I can't wait. Do you want to do back and forth? You need some...
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Leshy.
Leshy.
Lesy.
There you go. Lesovi.
Lesovic.
That's like French.
Yeah.
Lesovi.
That's very Russian. Lesovic.
Lesovic. They're neighbors.
Good luck with this last one.
Oh, Lord. Lesney Mutshikdede.
Did it?
Sure. Dead. Anyway.
I'm going to try. Music. Lesney Music Dead.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's probably wrong, but that's my guess.
There's a Leshy that is convinced we're speaking slur right now when we're really just trying our best.
Say it right. Sorry.
The tree in front of my house is quivering with anger.
The succulent in my bathroom right now is like, why I oughta.
He's like, the son of a bitch. What you call me? And since there's so many different versions of its name, and so I don't spend any more time butchering anything else, here are what they translate to English. We have forest man, forest mother, forest devil, forester, honorable one of the forest, righteous one of the forest, forest grandfather, forest spirit, forest uncle, forest master, forest dweller, and forest man.
Nice.
Now, you'll notice most of the names of Leshy describe a man, but it's important to know that there are women in the Leshy race.
Oh.
Women are referred to as Lesha Chica or Lesha
Chica. Lesha Chica.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very like old Russian, but
Lesha Chica. I don't know.
Lesha Chica.
Maybe I gotta be more in when I say it.
Lesha Chica.
There we go. That's it. And that translates to wives of Leshy, and the children are referred to as Leshonki. You try. I get out.
No, it looks like less chunky. Less chunky.
Leshonki.
Yeah.
That's the one. Leshonki. Okay, that's what we're calling it now. And that translates to children of Leshy, and And I'll be referring to Leshy as a he in most of my notes, since all the information I could find was about male Leshies. I couldn't find like anything about the female Leshies except they marry them. So,
Classic
if you
folklore.
oh, I know. I was writing and I was like, I can't believe they would do history just focused on the man. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I went, ah, that's right. And went back to my show notes.
Yeah.
So, if you hear a legend or something about some type of forest spirit roaming Eastern Europe, there's chances it is the mystical Leshy. And now, I'm going to hand it off to Ryan so he can tell you all about the lore surrounding the creature.
All right.
Oh, wait, I can drop it.
Drop it.
I'm going to drop.
Catch
Oop.
it. And then
There you go. Your turn.
Throw it onto the screen.
Yeet it!
That.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Nice.
All right. This first poem is called The Hidden Leshy, written by user Peace Lily. In through the mists, the thick forest trees, the guardian king, the hidden Leshy. Eyes of the wood, legs of the tree, claws of the crows, nose of the beast. A cudgel his crown of blunt sovereignty, in the left hand, a sign of the king. Should ye be lost, he won't want ye found. Mind ye your steps in wet, marshy ground. Give shepherds your grace, their friend to the king, or find your trap spent with naught but kindling. Honor his name, bring him some bread, douse it in salt, and lay at his bed. Fickle as thorns, mulled wine, and fresh grapes, yet buds of fresh rose for a good, hearty japes. Don't know what that means.
I'm going to Google that one.
Take any form, walk in a breeze, whisper and laugh, and shout in shadowless leaves. As nighttime sets in, he won't let you dream. You'll die in 6 nights from lack of good sleep.
Oh, practical joke.
Huh?
Japes is practical joke.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll get to that. If all else fails, this bargain is struck. Play cards for your soul and wish him foul luck. Attend ye these tales, pick nothing with greed, or suffer his bane, the hidden Leshy. I hope you get more into the whole play cards for your soul part, because I was very interested in that.
All of this.
Okay.
I will be telling you.
Fantastic. That makes me happy. This is why we
All
do the
of this.
stories early.
I don't like to say I think you'd like a creature.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd like this creature though. I just know it. I feel it in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I could be completely wrong.
We'll find out. All right. This is a story, a short story from 1887 by W.R.S. Ralston. So as our listeners know, these stories from like pre-1900s are sometimes a little hard to understand. So, that being said, sit back, relax, and this is the Leshy.
Oh, should we? You want to do voices in this? If there's like a trade-off?
Yeah,
No pressure.
I'll be the sportsman.
Oh, okay.
But most of this is just narration. But when
Oh, okay.
Just
cue me in. Just beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah. Okay. Let me set the scene. A priest's daughter went strolling in the forest one day without getting permission from her father or her mother. How dare she? And she disappeared. 3 years went by.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so fast forward immediately.
Okay.
Now, in the village in which her parents dwelt, there lived a bold hunter who went daily roaming through the thick woods with his dog and his gun. One day, he was going through the forest. All of a sudden, his dog began to bark, and the hair of its back bristled up. The sportsman looked and saw lying in the woodland path before him a log, and on the log there sat a moujik which that just means like peasant in Old Russian. So that
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah. Plaiting a based shoe. And as he plaited the shoe, he kept looking up at the moon and was saying with a menacing gesture, "Shine on, oh bright moon." The sportsman was astounded. This is you.
Oh, am I the sportsman?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're the sportsman.
Oh, I want to be. It's fine. He's going to smell.
Oh, you can be multiple people. It's fine.
Oh, no, it's fine. He's doing Schmeagol. How come it? He thinks that the watch. When Ryan laughs and looks away, it makes me laugh. I'm sorry, you guys. Composure. Let me try again. Okay. The sportsman was astounded. How comes it, think he, that the Mondrak looked like that? He is still young, but his hair is gray as a badger's.
So I don't want to judge your voice decision, but the hunter's supposed to be like, we're talking old folklore, Kimmy. This is like the hunter, you know, like
I was just in the mindset to do the forest guy.
Oh, see, I messed up. Okay. We're gonna rewind. I will be the sportsman.
Okay. Do you want me to start at menacing gesture?
Yeah. So you do the menacing gesture. Shine.
Okay, thank you. Shine, oh bright moon.
The sportsman was astounded. How come it, thinks he, that the moujik looks like that? He is still young, but his hair gray as a badger's. I was going for like.
No, I like it.
Okay. So he only thought these words. Oh, so that was in his mind. But the others replied, as if guessing what he meant.
Gray, I believe, the devil's grandfather.
Oh my goodness. Then the sportsman guessed that he had before him no mere mujik, but a Leshy. He leveled his gun and bang!
Oh my god.
He let him have it right in the paunch. The Leshy groaned and seemed to be going to fall across the log, but directly afterwards he got up and dragged himself into the thickets. After him ran the dog in pursuit, and after the dog followed the sportsman. He walked and came to a hill. In the hill was a fissure, and the fissure stood a hut. He entered the hut. There on the bench lay a Leshy, stone dead, and by his side a damsel, exclaiming amid bitter tears, "Who now will give..." Oh, wait, this is you.
No, you can do
it. "Who now will give me to eat and to drink?" "Hail, fair maiden," says the hunter. "Tell me whence thou comest, and whose daughter thou art." "Ah, good youth, I know not that myself, any more than if I had seen the free light, never known a father and mother." "Well, good, ready as you can, I'll take you back to Holy Russia." So he took her with him and brought her out of the forest, and all the way he went along, he cut marks on the trees. Now this damsel had been carried off by the Leshy, and had lived in his hut for 3 years. Her clothes were all worn out, and had got torn off her back, so that she was so she was stark naked, but she wasn't a bit ashamed about it. Yeah, live life. When they reached the village, the sportsman began asking whether there was anyone here who had lost a girl. Up came the priest and cried, "You can beat this guy."
Why, that's my daughter.
Up came running the priest's wife and cried,
"Oh, thou dear child, where hast thou been so long? I had no hope of seeing thee again."
But the girl gazed and just blinked her eyes, understanding nothing. After a time, however, she began to slowly come back to her senses. Then the priest and his wife gave her in marriage to the hunter and rewarded him with all sorts of good things. And they went in search of the hut in which she had lived in while she was with the Leshy. Long did they wander about the forest, but the hut they never found. So what had happened here? This girl finally was like, God, I got away from my like crazy dad and was living like the hippie life out in the woods, and then this hunter just came and murdered a dude. Um, so I mean, I guess it's up to interpretation whether like the Leshy like kidnapped and like hypnotized her, or if she was just like enjoying life. Um,
Yeah, it's. I was like, I don't know how anyone would feel if someone came and shot their husband and then
yeah.
took them
Well, and we don't know if
naked
it was the
from their
husband. It
home.
may have been a kidnapper.
Oh, well, as like a precursor thing, whenever a Leshy takes in someone,
Mm-hmm.
it's either a wife or their child.
Mm.
And this one is written as like a wife.
Okay, okay.
So
So
it's like
he murdered
that
her husband, and then
yes.
yeah. All right.
Thank you for also entertaining the idea of switching over voices. I haven't played D&D in a while, so all of them were absolutely everywhere. So you guys are all welcome for the beautiful chaos that just ensued.
I have one more little
Okay.
poem. This is by an author simply known as D. Ravens croon with a ravenous laughter, trees cackling dementedly, boughs snap under heavy footsteps. Evening has squandered its last breath. As the beast trudges over the lichenous carpet of the woods, an injured lame and panting wolf draped over his naked shoulder. The wretched canine, blood curdling in its mouth, whimpered with each stomp. In the mossy undergrowth sits a poor, gaunt hunter, arrow drawn towards the looming beast, stomach murmuring, paining hunger, trembling hands, waiting for the shot. Remember, like the cold open? Before the man let loose his grip, the Leshy plucks a twig from his beard and lays down the wolf upon the ground, snaps its neck, and turns towards the hunter. With a single grunt, a slow, knowing nod, he turns and lumbers back towards the woodland. A boon for the sick and hungry hunter whose child will eat tonight. The Leshy trudges through the undergrowth, a robin perched chattering wildly upon his head. See, so in this one, the Leshy fed the hunter. So maybe he's not a bad guy.
I really like both the poems. Well, he wasn't even like a bad guy in the other. Well, kidnapping is awful.
Well, the first one, he like made someone basically die because he tormented them instead of letting them sleep. The second one, he like had a wife and got murdered, and this one, he like fed someone. So we're slowly moving to that
Character development.
Yeah.
And we'll learn more about this beautiful character development after a quick word from our sponsors.
Woo.
Hey campers, Camp Counselor Mothman here to show you what's new in shop. Show your enthusiasm for your favorite cryptids with these Aloreing cryptid inspired merch items. We've got blankets, shirts, beanies, and more. If you're wanting to be a cryptid hunter, getting them in sticker form is the most humane way to do so, and it's the easiest way to build up your collection of cryptids. And look at this, they made a whole Mothman collection inspired by yours truly. This vintage design comes in 2 different shirt styles to pick from, plus there are mugs and scrunchies too. There's no better way to show love for your state than wearing a cryptid shirt inspired by them. We have Chupacabra, Sasquatch, Slenderman, live in shop with new ones added monthly. Don't forget to head over to the Aloreing shop right now to snag up your favorite items.
Hey there, campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call expert. We're back.
There we go. Now we're back. We're
Pressed
back.
the wrong button, but we're back now.
All right, welcome back, campers. I hope you enjoyed that little break. We are now going to talk about the appearance and history of the Leshy. You want to change the slide? There we go. Yeah. Oh, one more. One more.
Oh, that was me. Yep, there we go.
Oh, there we go. You're supposed to have that up for your stories for mood, but like we do anything organized here.
I always forget to change
Ask
the
me
slide
when
on
I
my
finish.
stories because I get too into them, and then I forget to press page down.
One day we'll have a third person that's doing the slide. We will dream. All right. So the most important thing about the Leshy is that he likes to shapeshift quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because of this, he has multiple forms he can be spotted in. So the first one is his physical appearance directly relates to that of the forest. Most commonly is known to be a large human-like form with long, shaggy green hair or a beard, bark-like skin, bright green eyes, and sometimes horns, a tail, and hooves. Some lore says his skin is a pale white color, and then he has blue blood, which makes him appear to have blue undertones. He also carries around a club or walking stick and is known to have the company of gray wolf or a bear with him at all times. So a druid,
Basically, yeah.
in its purest form, is the Leshy. The next one is his human form. So not as common. Few have seen him and described it as a Russian peasant wearing a red scarf with his shoes on the wrong feet. He also does not cast a shadow and has no eyebrows, eyelashes, and a somewhat pointed head, and his right ear is missing. So think of Woodland Vincent van Gogh, and that's what we got going on.
Are the shoes on the wrong feet, like,
Yep.
intentional?
Yes. Because,
Okay.
the thing is, his human form isn't quite right. Like, he thinks it's right, but it's not.
Yeah.
And he's, a little disheveled, so not really put together well. So it makes it so you can easily spot him in the
Gotcha.
forest. 'Cause
Yeah,
you kind of do,
like
a
in the
double
story, the dude just saw the dude making shoes in the middle of the woods and was like, yeah, that's not right.
It's like, that looks out of place. And then the third form is he can shift into any animal, tree, plant, or human-animal mix. So he can either be as tall as the largest tree in the forest or as small as the tiniest mushroom you ever did see. And speaking of mushrooms, his favorite form to take is a giant mushroom.
Nice.
So it's that first picture. It is a giant mushroom.
Oh, okay.
So you were
like it.
right.
Yeah.
And then the next is the behavior. So now we know what he looks like. He's got his 3 different forms. So it's important to know that the Leshy is known to be a seldom spirit and is not evil. So, like the seasons, his mood will change in spring. Do you hear that?
Is that a motorcycle?
Do you hear that? Is that just me? Do you hear that?
Yeah. It's your doppelganger.
It's my boyfriend,
Uh-oh.
Edgar. Let me call him. Hey. One. It's fine, we're live. Is anyone watching?
Yeah, we got a couple.
Sorry.
Hello,
Oh,
people. Yeah.
sorry guys.
It's very quiet. You don't gotta worry about it.
Am I good? Can you
Yeah.
guys hear that? We're good. Okay. Edgar, shut up. It's fine. His voice is so deep, so loud. One second. I'm sorry. Let me just call him real quick.
Would you like me to read?
Hey, this is why you guys are here for the live stream, right? Hey, Edgar?
Yeah.
Can you keep it down a little? I can literally hear you on the mic.
Come on, Edgar.
Brian says, come on. Edgar."
Come on.
Okay, thank you, love. Bye. Okay,
Dear
we're back.
editor Chris, please cut that out. Thank you. All right. Back to
Thanks, Chris. Back to it. So, it's important to know the Leshy is known to be a seldom spirit and not evil. So, like the seasons, his mood will change So in the spring, he causes more trouble. The summer, he plays more pranks. Autumn, he's more aggressive. And the winter, he just hibernates. So regardless of the season, he does spend most of the year playing tricks and misguiding humans who get lost in the forest. That's because our boy loves pranks. But he tends to take pranks a little too far, which we learned from the first poem, and it will result in human's death or the human never being able to return home.
Yikes.
So we touched on that. We're actually going to touch on everything you talked about, which is super exciting to me. Because it's like bam, 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 bam. And it's kind of in the order too. So not only do Leshy love to play pranks, but they also love their forest and deeply care for its inhabitants. He will trick hunters he will trick hunters and even mess with their equipment. And he tracks there and get them lost just to keep the animals safe. The forest is the Leshy's home, and he does everything he can to protect it. He will even go out of his way to make sure local cows that are using his forest to graze don't get too far from their home and become lost. So he's like, stay back a little, which I think is really cute.
Good mushrooms.
Yeah. He's like, not these ones.
Yeah.
The Leshy also has a strong connection with the forest, and legend says that if a tree is cut down, you'll hear the soft weeps of it in the distance.
Oh.
And protecting the forest is a lot of hard work. And just like anyone stuck in a 9-to-5 in our capitalistic hellscape, Leshy needs a drink. He gathers up his pack of wolves and changes into human form, making his way to a local tavern close to the forest. Now, when he enters the bar, the wolves stay outside. And then he likes to order a drink. Do you want to guess what he orders?
Well, this is a Russian story, so vodka.
Yes, he will order a bucket of vodka.
A bucket?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I like to imagine it's a bucket with like a little lime in the corner. Just like one slice.
It's a whole lime with just like a small slice cut into it so that it fits on the bucket.
It's like cut like a U too, so it can fit on it.
Dang, a whole bucket. I mean, I guess they're big. It makes sense.
Well, and he's in his human form, which is like a little peasant guy now, you know?
That's fair, yeah.
So, little peasant comes in, orders a bucket of vodka, and then will drink the whole thing, and then goes back into the forest with his pack of wolves.
Does he have money?
Yeah, apparently. To be fair, if someone came in my bar with a pack of wolves and ordered a bucket of vodka...
That's fair. Are you going to say no to the guy with the wolves?
I'd be like, it's on the house.
Yeah.
Just leave. So, overall, Leshy is just a peaceful prankster just vibing. But the last thing you want to deal with is an angry one. So when angered, it can perform many different phenomenons in natures, from earthquakes to rock swelling to heavy rainfall and much more. At times, they will be so filled with rage they will even damage the forest they try to protect. So kind of self-sabotaging a little bit with that.
Yeah.
But not only does the Leshy have the ability to create different phenomenons in nature, but it also has a few other tricks up its sleeve. Oh, I'm everywhere today. So I love that. I don't know why that's such like a joyful sound to me. So first ability is mimics voices and noises of other people. So when you hear an unsettling sound from the forest, instead of thinking it's something paranormal or demonic, you can just say, that must be the darn Leshy again.
He's on his second bucket of vodka.
Yeah. The sounds get weirder as the buckets of vodka increase. It's what's it called? It's a YX graph that just keeps going up.
Yeah.
They can change the forest layout so people get lost or sick of wandering until they die. Will lure someone into their cave and tickle them to death.
Oh. That doesn't sound too bad.
I said that too, and then I looked up out of curiosity. I was like, is tickle torture a thing? And yes.
That
And
was a
I
dangerous
think that
Google
would
search
be
you did there, Kimmy.
awful. Oh, yeah.
That was a dangerous Google search.
That was a private browser moment. I was like, whoop. I was like, Google can't know everything about me.
I start getting some weird ads.
Listen, I looked up Bigfoot pictures last time, and I've seen a lot of things I can't unsee. So I've learned if I have questions, just ask it and leave. Like, if I have to go past page 2 in Google, it's not the answer I want. So the next one is we'll move woodcutters' axes and wood cutters so they can't find their tools. So just kind of like messes with people's stuff.
Yeah.
And then finally, we'll mentally change a person. So this is where he becomes a little problematic. If he gets a hold of a child, he might replace it with one of his own changelings who will grow up stupid and have an appetite that can never be satisfied. And if the child ever goes out of the forest and returns home, it will be completely useless. So he does like weird spells on people that have been in the forest too long.
Gotcha.
And then if he gets a hold of an adult, when they finally leave the forest, they are typically mute and covered in moss. They're unable to concentrate and will act a little bit off for the rest of their life. So I think that's super interesting. Like, I don't know if they just get more connected to the animals and the forest and less connected to people, but boy messes with them.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you're alone long enough, you start to get a little screw loose.
fair. If I had a mushroom that kidnapped me,
Yeah.
and talk to me on the daily,
While drinking a bucket of vodka.
The bucket of vodka just pours on him like in the movie. Was it Dirty Dancing I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
That's what he does with all
He
the buckets.
leans
That's why
back.
it's in the bucket. So combined, all these make for a very powerful forest spirit and make one wary of entering the forest. But don't worry, there's an easy way to escape the Leshy's tricks and traps. 1, simply wear your clothes inside out and your shoes on opposite feet. Just making the Leshy laugh is a good way to get out of it. Other remedies including the sign of... Oh, this was weird. Okay. So other remedies include the sign of the cross, so like a crucifixion cross, or singing sheep's mug, sheep's wool. But in the worst extreme, setting the forest ablaze behind you should grow him so concerned with putting out the fire, he will forget why his mischief fell upon your soul.
I mean, that last one's fair enough. You light someone's house on fire, suddenly they're not going to be too worried about messing with you.
It's really problematic.
Jeez.
What's his name? Smokey the Bear may come at you.
Yeah.
But you're not dealing with the Leshy anymore.
Bigfoot's coming for you.
You pick and choose, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to dive into some history and events. I love this picture so much. He's like a cute little old man.
Yeah.
So this picture is actually kind of what I wish Santa looked more like, because I just think it's so cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with all these abilities and him being the talk around the town, it wasn't long until the forest icon became so influential that mankind may have taken it a bit too far. Leshy became so popular over time that cults were made in his image.
Oh no.
So, some considered Leshy as a god, others saw him as a deity of the forest, and some even said there are multiple Leshys that run around the forest that they worshipped. So regardless of how many people worshipped him, some important facts. 1, it was still culty. It's a cult.
Yeah.
And 2, it soon led to everyone wanting to host a celebration for him. So cult sites known as sacred trees or groves were dedicated to the Leshy, and now people will celebrate the Leshy feast day on September 27th, giving him offerings and feasting, all while being kind to the forest.
Nice.
So overall, it was a cult thing that didn't end in Kool-Aid sadness.
Yeah.
You know? So kudos to that. Like, I
Yeah.
respect that transition.
I didn't realize there was like a debate whether it was one Leshy or like Leshy. I thought Leshy was like a bunch of them. I didn't realize there was just one.
Oh, so it will have just one Leshy to a forest is typically what it is.
Okay.
Per forest, yeah.
Okay.
But that Leshy can also have a wife and kids.
Gotcha.
But typically there's like the one Leshy which is in
forest.
charge of
Okay.
it.
That
If
makes
that
sense.
helps
Yeah.
clear it up.
That
Okay,
does.
cool. Cool bean. So the Leshy is a great icon, but you don't have to go join a cult to get on his good side. And then you don't have to worry about being tickled to death next time you enter the forest with this helpful little handy dandy list I have of how to become one's friend. So history tells how peasants became friends with the forest spirit due to the close ties of peasants and forest life. The Leshy would teach locals the secret of magic, but only if they vowed to never wear a cross again and give in to the teachings of the forest and its magic. The way a peasant would become friends with the Leshy is by respecting the forest. So here are all the things you can do to get one to be your friend. So whistle before entering the forest. Do not cut down any trees or hunt without consent. Do not be noisy. No swearing. That's a little that I feel would change over time. I feel that's a very Catholic one. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's ancient Russia. They're pretty religious.
Oh yeah. So maybe that's a times have changed one. We'll see. Don't take advantage of the resources. Only take what you need. Don't hunt during festivals and holidays. Give yourself a break. And place an offering on the stump or log of the forest. Ooh, some of the offerings you can have are kasha, which is oatmeal, soot, which is animal fat.
Yeah, that's gross. Soot is it's like around the kidney, and it's a really hard fat. So like people melt it down and use it for like deep frying.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that,
I'm not
that
sure
makes
what
it a
the
good
I mean, unless the
offering.
Leshy's doing some frying out in the woods. I mean, who knows?
He deep fries churros on the weekends.
Yeah.
What is it? Bleeny? How do you say that? Do you know how to say that one?
Bleeny?
Bliny. Ah, that makes way more sense. Bliny, which are pancakes.
It's like a crepe.
Breads. Ooh, okay. I'm about that.
Yeah.
Boy's just getting a meal cart going.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing.
You
And
gotta
bread,
respect the
salt,
hustle.
cookies, or candies. What did you say?
You gotta respect the hustle, you know?
You gotta respect the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
He needs it for all the bets he does.
Now,
You'll learn
question:
more
what
about
is he
that.
making with oatmeal, animal fat, pancakes, bread, salt, cookies, and candy? I mean, clearly the oatmeal is like a hearty breakfast. It's the animal
Right.
fat that's throwing me off. I guess maybe you can like fry pancakes,
Yeah,
deep fried,
yeah.
but
I don't know. Throw some eggs in those offerings. Really
Yeah.
help him start this.
some bacon.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
See, just throw some more into the offering, and then we can see how much of a master chef he becomes.
Yeah.
That's the Leshy's true destiny.
The great Leshy cook-off.
The great Leshy cook-off. I love that so much. Okay, but be warned, disrespecting the rules of the forest could lead a human to being cursed with bad luck or even killed. So on top of being friends with humans, Leshy would make pacts with farmers and herders to help protect the crops and sheep. For shepherds, he would make them agree to an invisible contract which allowed the Leshy to watch over the shepherd's animals when they went to graze in the forest. But there were rules they must follow. The shepherd must stay out of the forest and not harm any plants or animals, and always be respectful when they do have permission to enter the forest. Breaking any of these rules would result in the Leshy taking the shepherd's herd and hiding them so they can never be found again. So,
Hiding.
yeah, he's a very, like, stay in your lane person.
Yeah.
But the second you, like, tip out, he's like, nah, chief, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the other part I feel you'd like. Leshy are known to love gambling.
Nice.
So they are great gamblers, and if you are a hunter, this is one of the best ways to trick a Leshy into letting you hunt in their forest. If you find him in his human form, suggest a good old-fashioned card game, and he won't be able to say no. It's suggested when huge amounts of animals would migrate from one forest to another, that's because one Leshy lost a bet to another one. So they had to...
I bet all of my deer for all of your like squirrels, and then all of a sudden one forest just has a bunch of deer.
The idea of all these squirrels just going.
Yeah. Unless you've been like, sorry guys, I know this is like your forest, but like I lost. You gotta go.
Imagine that landlord eviction notice.
Mm-hmm.
Your landlord comes, it's like, listen,
Yeah.
I betted you
Yeah.
to that guy.
Yeah. Good luck.
Guess
Have
who
fun.
lost? Oh, I freaking love that. And then we'll go to the next part. So it can seem like the Leshy is just a playful trickster and an all-around quote-unquote nice guy. But like anyone who self-identifies as a nice guy, the Leshy has some characteristics that make him benefit greatly from some therapy and self-reflection. So the first one is him being extremely territorial. You'll never find more than one male Leshy to a forest. I did put it in my show notes. Haha. They are very territorial. When they try to resolve the disputes, they just get really angry with each other and will cause storms, make trees crash, have boulders fall, pretty much any supernatural explanation for a natural event. The next is they enjoy kidnapping young women to spend the rest of their life with them. So he typically makes them his bride and gives them a wonderful life in the forest without having to worry about peasant work ever again. He will become a family man, and the young woman will be named Leshakia. I said it before, and I butchered it there, and we're going to keep going, which means a fallen or cursed human woman who left the village to reside with him.
So they are being kidnapped. They just like...
Yes. Well, like, here's the thing.
A little bit of Stockholm syndrome
it.
sets in.
Yeah. And very Beauty and the Beastie vibes we kind of got going on here.
Sure.
Like, how hot does he have to be to make it okay? Is kind of...
You're like, man, I can't wait to leave. And then he turns into a giant mushroom, and you're like, all right, I'll stick around.
You're like,
see what this comes of this.
you sees him in human form. It's like, no, and then turns around and the Leshy's like, miss, and then it's just a mushroom. She's like, you know what?
You can make this work.
I think I'll stay. So, after making them the wife, they will have children and care for them, and the children will have a magical, lovely life. Some of it will be their own children that they bang for, and some will be ones that they find in the forest that have gone missing. Now, there is an off chance that a Leshy is married already or doesn't like the young woman. If that's the case, she will actually become a slave and continue a long life of peasant work for him.
Oh my.
So, hope you're cute.
Yeah.
Or his type.
Dang. Alright, well, he started out a little wholesome, and
Yeah, it's... and I'll get into this in a little bit, in a second, too, because I kind of had to put these parts together, but, finally, he does love to have people, especially children, get lost in the forest, so mimicking voices of their family members so they go deeper in the woods to never be found again. I do want to point out one thing in saying this, because it starts pleasant and it kind of did like a 180 real quick with the whole enslavement and
Yeah, yeah. a little
liking
bit.
to get children lost in the forest. Um, in Slavic folklore, there's a ton of connections with the forest being the passage between the living and the dead. So I talked about this in our Baba Yaga episode, but it makes me wonder if he's guiding children to the afterlife using the voice of people they're familiar with so they don't feel as scared in passing.
That,
Because
yeah.
that makes sense. And I may be terribly wrong, but that's something that makes sense to me because it could have easily been lost in translation.
Yeah, no, that does make sense for sure.
And the thing is, if that's the case too, it makes more sense for the women living with him
Mm-hmm.
because it's women that have left their home to be appreciated,
Yeah,
you know? So
fair enough.
I may be completely wrong. I'm just trying to look at the good side because I like this character. And there wasn't so much of like him doing awful stuff. It would be like a lot of good things and then like one short, like, maybe he did this though sentence.
Yeah.
So, what can you do? Okay, time for my final segment. Ryan, it is time for Is It Science or the Church?
See, I got it this week because we're talking like ancient Russia, and I mean that was the church, you know. So
Yep.
we're going church, locking it in. Easy answer this week.
There you go. You're only going to ever get them right when we don't have our soundboard.
I think that's yeah. It's 2 weeks in a row. I've gotten it right twice after I lose my soundboard. Damn it! You're right.
Once you get the soundboard, it's going to stop. Just you wait.
Here, wait.
So you were right. It is the church. It wasn't long till the church heard of locals worshiping a godlike creature of the forest. And when they did, you know they were going to have a say in it. The church started to blend pagan beliefs with Christianity, and in doing so, they changed the vision. Did you just give yourself a cheering sound effect?
Yeah, it was just very delayed.
I'm really proud for you. I feel like you needed that.
I did. I really needed that today.
You can sleep at night a little better now. So, in the blending of these beliefs, they changed the vision of the Leshy from being a protector of a forest to a more demonic devil-like creature.
Classic.
I know. Classic church. That's what we need on a shirt. So this blended belief saw the Leshy as angels that were thrown out of heaven and into the forest, which resulted in them becoming forest spirits. It's also said that the Leshy are the children of Adam and Eve, born after the fall of man, or they are formed by a witch and a devil that got married and got busy.
Dang.
So this makes both of these make it so it seems like a demon baby
Yeah.
thing going on.
Yeah, no, they're for sure really leaning into the demon aspect. I mean, if it was the child of Adam and Eve, like, that wouldn't be a demon, but...
Well,
I mean,
that's after
maybe.
the fall of man.
Oh, okay. So it's a demon. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a demon baby that we kind of got, like
Yeah.
Rosemary kind of going on over there. But this wasn't the end of it. The church wanted locals to be cautious of these forest spirits. The church said Leshies would even go out of their way to kidnap babies or children who were not baptized.
I feel like this is like the 12th time you've said that exact line. Like,
I
when
feel like
anytime it's the church, whenever we like are talking about it, they're like, yeah, and if you don't baptize your kid, like, they're just gonna get kidnapped. Like, this is for sure not the first time you've said that.
no, I've brought it up with changelings. I brought it up so many times. I can't even remember.
I'd have
all
to
of
go
them
through
right
our
now.
old episodes, but anytime like it's an old like, yeah, even like the like water spirit ladies,
Oh, Rusalka.
yeah, that was the same thing. It was like, you're not baptized, or Solka's gonna get you. Like,
I feel like the church saw every Slavic legend of a creature in the forest and was like, it's gonna kidnap you.
Yeah.
If you don't baptize that child, goes to them. Straight away. Straight to jail. But don't worry.
Straight there.
They want people to know even the forest spirit could be saved. They said cow herders could make a pact with the Leshy. If they handed their cross from their necks and shared communions with him after their Christian church gathering, the Leshy would be so thankful he'd give the cow herders special powers.
Oh.
Now, the contradiction is a lot of lore says the Leshy would only accept you as a friend if you took off your cross. So, I feel that's why that one was made.
Babel trying to trick you.
Yeah, they were like, no. You can still have it. You should actually give it to him.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
So, it's clear the church wanted people to stop worshiping the spirit and turn to their beliefs. But because the Slavic folklore of the Leshy was so strong, he didn't get thrown under the rug as a villain and is still believed to be a playful protector of the forest to this day. So in closing, my guy may need a bit of therapy and to understand that kidnapping a bride to marry isn't alright.
Not
But
cool,
he is a hard worker, and I'll give him that. So next time you run into a Leshy at a bar, get him a bucket of vodka and ask him to play a good old-fashioned card game. Not only will you become friends with a magical forest spirit, but you'll also be able to roam the forest without worrying about being tickled to death. That was a lot. But I'm very happy with it.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever been worried about being tickled to death in the forest until now. So add that to the list of irrational fears.
Folklore fear list.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I guess it's that time for modern takes with Ryan. And this is actually, we found a little article that was interesting about what The Witcher got wrong about the Leshy. Because if you've seen season 2 of the Netflix show Witcher, you'll know that it was a little overboard with how the Leshies were treated. Sorry, I was trying to pull up the... Yeah, okay. So, the first thing that they got wrong is the Leshy is not necessarily a wooden tree man. It's a spirit. So in the show, I'm trying not to like spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but
we're
the
past
show,
that point. Listen, here's the
Okay,
the
spoilers
spoiler.
ahead. Yeah.
Spoilers ahead. Go watch The Witcher, whatever, or just listen to this.
Yeah.
I think you guys will be fine.
Yeah. So basically, one of the guys gets back to like the Witcher hangout and is like, "Yeah, I killed a Leshy. Yeah, that's me. Killed the Leshy." And then he turns into a giant tree man and just starts absolutely murking Witchers, which is not the case. Which leads me to part 2. The Leshy is not gonna show up and just start stabbing you with his tree arms because he's the keeper of the forest. So he's not gonna go leave the forest to go hang out in the castle with some witchers and start stabbing people once again. And so this is a little contradictory to the story that I had, in which the huntsman killed the Leshy by shooting him with a gun, but some people say you just can't kill a Leshy because they're a spirit. But in the show, you gotta throw a fire stick through its heart, which first off, it's a spirit, so likely doesn't have a heart.
If D&D has taught me anything, that better be a magical item, or else it doesn't do shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't really kill a Leshy. Again, depending on which story you choose to believe. But yeah, basically, just all in all, The Witcher did a really bad job of showing the Leshy, and I understand that they had to it's The Witcher. Like, they can't be like, oh, and this is a good guy. Like, they had to like make like it like a big scary monster, but do better. Do better, Netflix. That's what I'd like to say.
Represent better. Well,
Yeah.
the thing too, they could have made the Leshy like a gambler, like a trickster gambler.
Yeah, exactly.
He was dealing with. You know, there could have totally been a thing where he kidnapped, and I'm referring to the TV show because I love the game and I know they make her older in the game.
Yeah.
But the TV show, when she's a kid, they could totally have the Leshy kidnap her or get her lost in the forest, and then sees the Witcher, and it's like,
yeah.
if you want
like,
her
play
back,
cards for me for Siri or whatever. Like,
yeah, exact. So
Yeah.
that's what makes me mad, is because they could have done his like origin, like his character, and it would have been
Yeah.
so cool.
Instead, they made one of his friends for some reason turned into Leshy.
I
Yeah.
It's fine. What's the main actor's name that's in it? That main guy?
Geralt?
That's the only reason I watch
Or
it.
Geralt. I
Yeah.
don't know the actor's name, but yeah, Superman.
The one that plays Batman at one point and changed my life? Yeah, that one.
He
That's
played.
the
I think
only
he played
reason
Superman, not Batman.
Oh, Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because that was that was the first time I ever watched a Superman movie. I was with my mother, and we have never liked Superman. I grew up in DC home. I was a Batman bitch all the way. Nightwing, perfection. Poison Ivy, perfection kind of thing. And then I remember sitting in that theater, and I saw his face turn towards the screen, and I looked at my mother, and she looked at me, and my mom was like, you know, Superman's kind of cute. I was like, I was just thinking the same thing, and my father has never looked so disappointed in both of
He
us.
said, "Is that a giant mushroom?"
Is that a giant? Get out right now.
But
I get that from
in Netflix's defense, sorry to cut you off, they did
You're
get one
fine.
thing right, and it was that it was able to make a bunch of like weird noises, which, you know, as you said earlier, they like to mimic forest sounds to like lure people into places. So, yeah,
Listen, Witcher, just hire us.
yeah, come on, hire your resident folklore experts. Ignore that little thing at the beginning that says we're not experts, and hire us.
Listen to us now.
Yeah,
Times have changed.
yeah,
Okay.
we're experts now.
Anything that helps me get a signed photo of that actor, I'm totally down for. As long as I can get one for me and my mother, then I'm fine. All right. Let's do a quick announcement from the lower report before we do our not modern takes. That's what you just did.
Yeah, it's already over. Before we go to our. Oh, I forgot to show my slide too. That's
Oh.
what he looks like in the show. Very bad. Not a Leshy. That
Not
is an
Leshy.
ent, right? Is that what they're called? The tree people
Yeah.
from Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more on brand. And they're not even really violent. They don't even go out of their way to be violent. They only did
Yeah.
that. I just binge watched Lord of the Rings. I mean, my boyfriend watched it for the first time,
Yeah.
and they're not like go out and murder people unless they absolutely have like a
Yeah.
strong connection or reason why.
Unless your cows start eating their stuff.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Quick announcement. We got some more stuff in our merch shop. We got Sasquatch stuff now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I don't know what else to say. I made it.
Yeah, I mean, just overall, we have a ton of new stuff in the merch store. Definitely check it out. The Bigfoot stuff is like, we're going for like the Smokey the Bear vibe, and Kimmy absolutely nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we have any other announcements other than that.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're listening to us on Spotify, you can give us 5 stars now. That'd be pretty neat.
Oh, does Spotify have stars now?
Spotify has stars now.
Spotify. All right.
Since most of our listeners are Android users.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh,
I
there
would
totally is. Look at that. I just gave us 5 stars.
Bam. Boop. I should do that too. I
Yeah.
never rate ourselves. I should rate
Yeah.
ourselves. But yeah, check out our merch shop. It's a great way to support the show. If you guys are supporting us on Patreon and you want to get something from the merch shop, there is a little coupon code on our Patreon, and if you can't find it, you message me. I will send you that code. Because you're supporting us already, you're getting a discount on our stuff. So it's how we say we love you. Plus, I just like drawing beautiful, chaotic, cryptid folklore stuff to put in our shop. So it just
True.
works out great in the
Yeah,
end.
even if you don't buy it, go look at the Bigfoot stuff because it's fire.
Just go,
Yeah.
let your eyeballs absorb
Yeah, go do
it.
some
Just
window
for
shopping.
like a minute.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
I know. I'm so curious. Oh! What?
See, I went a little more good.
Okay.
Because as I was saying, my stories kind of like as they progressed, he like got nicer. Like the last one, the dude was like on death's door, and then he's like, "Here's food," you know.
Okay.
But still chaotic, because you know he kidnapped someone and made it
Yeah.
his wife, and also doesn't let people sleep because he just like messes with them.
Well, see, that's the thing. We're close. We're close on this. I did give him more chaotic, and I put him a little bit more towards neutral. Just because, like, I don't per se think he's good.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's evil. I think he's just kind of, like, down the middle about it. But anyone that has the balls to go into a bar and order a bucket of vodka
Amen.
is not a sane
Yeah.
creature, human, whatever.
If I'd have known that, I'd have put him a lot more chaotic.
Just
Maybe off
Drop
the
it.
chart. A bucket?
drop it all the way down.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can order that. What would happen? Like, is the tavern owner just used to it at this point? Does it have pre-made
I mean,
ones?
as long as he's paying, like, that tavern owner's probably like, yes, the Leshy's coming.
He sees the wolves in the distance.
And he's
and
like,
he's
we're
like,
closing
"It is
early
time."
tonight.
He's like, boys, I'm taking my wife out to dinner
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
We're getting steak. Oh, well, I think we're pretty agreed on this. I feel like this was a nice
Yeah. we've
kind of
been-
neutral character.
Yeah, now that we've been doing the show together for over a year, I've noticed, like, our alignment charts have gotten closer and closer. Like, episode 1, we were like, "Pachoo," complete opposite. We're slowly merging.
Well, the other thing you need to keep in mind is when we first started the show, we did a lot more folklore of like beautiful, dangerous
That's
women.
true. We haven't done one of those in a while.
We may have some of it coming up.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, wonderful. So that's the thing. It's because I don't think the Leshy's hot. Like,
Are you kidding? Look at that. Look at that. There it is.
The
Look at
only
that. Look at that.
the only pro is he's got that mustache.
And,
And no, I'm
wait,
sorry.
wait.
I'm
Look at that.
Look at that mushroom.
Look at that mushroom. It's a giant mushroom.
That's his best attribute is his giant mushroom, actually.
Oh, boy.
No, I don't know. We're having peace on the Aloreing alignment chart, but
For now.
I see the pre-episodes that we have scheduled, and I
Yeah.
just know the chaos to come.
All right. Should we do our takeaways?
Yeah, Leshy's got a good big mushroom, and
I got a good one. If you're
Please.
not conventionally attractive, do not get kidnapped by the Leshy.
okay, if you're not conventionally attractive, don't get kidnapped by the Leshy.
Mhm.
And the Leshy is known for his big mushroom.
Yep. What a perfect cap to a beautiful family-friendly episode.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Aloreing.
You guys just have the most alluring day. Watch out for giant mushrooms, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye. Oh, that's so great.